Hello and welcome to CGE Q&A Wednesdays. I am Sakina Bunch, your holistic relationship health and wellness coach, and I am so excited that you are here with us this week because September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and I have an amazing guest on for you today. Nikki Hasty. She is married to Timothy Hasty for 9 years, and they have 6 children together. They live in Milledgeville, Georgia. Nikki has battled with ovarian cancer and now is an advocate for others to bring awareness and works toward creating a test and finding a cure. Please help me welcome the amazing Nikki Hasty. Ah! Hey, Nikki, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am wonderful, thank you. Don't y'all just love her accent? I mean, it just sounds so cute. I'm sorry, I just love it. All right, so let's get down to business. We are going to be talking about ovarian cancer, which I know is near and dear to your heart. So tell us, how did you get diagnosed?
We were diagnosed kind of as not an afterthought, but more like a side thought. We were working to have a baby together because Tim and I do not have a child together biologically. And we were going through the fertility testing process again because we had gone through it in 2013 and I stopped. The medication is very powerful. So mentally I had all I could do in 2013. So we came back to it in 2016. And we were just in the beginning stages with a new doctor, and she found a place on my ovary and a sonogram and said, oh, well, I'll just take care of that in surgery because we were getting ready to have surgery. And the point of surgery was to, clean up the insides. If there was any endometriosis, she was going to burn it. If there were any cysts, which she saw what she thought to be cysts, she was going to remove them, and she was going to run dye through my fallopian tubes to make sure that they were open. And because I had had a recent pregnancy loss, she was going to give me a DNC. So finding the cancer was just a side piece to all the surgery that I was getting ready to have to have a baby with Tim. Mm-hmm. So she removed that, and with insurance, if anything is removed, it is sent to pathology, and it came back that it was not a cyst, but a ovarian cancer tumor. So it was a cancerous tumor.
Wow. Okay. So that's awesome. So I know in your bio, we talked about that you are working to create a test. So there's no test at all for this?
No, there is no test like with any of the other like vaginal cancers with your uterus, the cervix, or whatever. You get your pap smears. With breast cancer, you self-exam, you can do a mammogram. With the ovarian cancer, surgery is the only thing that will determine that you actually have ovarian cancer. So there's blood work to monitor your blood and stuff, but it is not a test that tells you have ovarian cancer.
Wow, that blows my mind, because now I'm thinking there are so many women that are walking around. I know, a lot of women deal with fibroids, deal with cysts, and they extract them, they burn them, they do all sorts of things. But I know I used to deal with cysts a lot, and my doctor never once mentioned anything about an ovarian cancer. And that really just blows my mind, because I dealt with them. I had polycystitis, so it was frequent. Wow, okay. All right, so let's go on to our next question.
It's almost like it's expected that women are in pain. So when women talk about pain or discomfort, it's just a byproduct of being a woman.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so so now y'all have been diagnosed. How did you work through that diagnosis? Because that has to be hard as a married couple, especially one that's trying to have a child together, and now you're dealt with this diagnosis. So how did y'all work through that?
Well, it wasn't a death sentence. We were just told, hey, well, since this is found, I've got to send you to my colleague in Atlanta. So we went to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
because at that point, my regular gynecologist was not a oncologist gynecologist. So
Mm-hmm.
there are specific ways that the oncologist has to do the surgery. So she sent me up to someone she knew in Atlanta, and we met with him. And it was just a few days, from appointment to appointment. So we met with him, and the goal at that point was to preserve fertility. So we were told, hey, we caught it so early, the prognosis is great. Um, we'll take this ovary and fallopian tube out. And his advice was, go home, have a baby within the year, come back, and let's remove everything else because ovarian cancer is aggressive. So that was the initial plan, was to have that surgery. And there was a process to get ready for that surgery, more tests and everything. But that was just part two of the whole cancer ordeal that left me where I am today.
Wow. Okay. Well, I love how you put, this is not a death sentence. It was not a death sentence, because so many times when we hear the word cancer, it's like that's where our mind goes. So I love how you put that. And I know that there are listeners out there are viewers out there that are watching this and need that encouragement that, hey, you can work through this. So that's awesome. So when you went and y'all were working through that, now tell me, where are you now? What is your diagnosis now?
So after our first meeting with Dr. Matthews in Atlanta, I had to go get another CT scan, and that CT scan showed another mass on the other ovary. So then the plan changed from removing the one ovary and fallopian tube to now we're removing one ovary and the fallopian tube and removing a mass on the other ovary. So this is where we really dug deep with our faith, and we created a prayer group called Hasty Hope to keep people informed and pray for us, because our goal, we never lost sight of our goal. It was to have children together. Our hope was biological children, but ultimately it was to have children, preserve my life. And so then at the next surgery, the code word between Tim and I was, if everything was fine and the other mass did not look like cancer, they were going to leave that ovary and fallopian tube, and then we were to get to work when we got home, to have a child, to come back and remove everything. So the code word in recovery, if that was going to be great, that the playground is open. So that's what I heard in recovery. The playground is open. So we're going to go home, play, have a baby, come back, and take care of everything else.
I
But
love it.
then just a couple of weeks later, pathology came back, and that other mass was also cancer. It was a cancerous tumor as well. So then the next step was to plan the surgery to remove everything. And everything, most people's hysterectomy leaves ovaries and leaves a cervix, but we were removing everything, so there was no chance of this coming up, or minimum chance of this coming up anywhere else, because you actually can have ovarian cancer without your ovaries. It's just where the cells have went out and created it, multiplied and created the cancer elsewhere. So I had the final surgery in September the 12th, and that was 3 years ago, 3 days ago. So at that surgery, the fluid in my abdomen and the surrounding areas were also biopsied to see if there was any traces of cancer anywhere else. And I'm sitting here today with everything is clean and clear. And they call that NED. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, which is a byproduct of having everything removed. I have memory issues, but no evidence of disease. So I'm NED now, no evidence of disease. So looking at my body, it doesn't look like I've ever had cancer.
Amen. That is awesome. That is a wonderful testament. You know, I realize that that's a lot to go through, but you did achieve the goal of preserving your life. And I'm so grateful for that. All right. So I love how you put, we were going to go get to work. I was like, yeah, we're going to get to work. So that's a wonderful segue into what you do for a living. I absolutely love what you do for a living because, you know, when I first heard about this particular company, you know, people can start thinking different things about this company, but I love how you have put a healthful spin on this. So please tell us what you do.
Okay, so I am a pure romance sexual health and wellness educator. And most people think, like you said, completely different. But with pure romance, the sexual health and wellness is top priority. There are other foundations with pure romance, the Patty Brisbane Foundation, and it's strictly for women's sexual health and wellness. So I knew that that is something that I wanted to get involved with. The information and education is there for me to share, learn myself, and then share it with my lady friends and all the ones that I party with. So with Pure Romance, it's bath, bedroom, and beauty products, with the bath and beauty being 80% of the products that is sold. But for me, since it's my business, I focus a lot on the sexual health and wellness because finding the ovarian cancer was just a side thing of us trying to have a child. If we had not been trying to have a child together, the cancer would have just laid dormant in my body, and it would have grown and gotten worse, and then it would have reached the stages where the prognosis is less and less. So my stage was 1B, and most women are in their 60s in stage 3 and 4. So that's why I'm very passionate about it now, because I'm a young survivor, and I tailor my pure romance business around the sexual health and wellness.
And you know, that's a wonderful, I mean, that's a wonderful ministry where, you know, you said it's your business, and so you tailor it around this specific need. And women who may have the idea of what pure romance is may come to a party, and you're there and you are educating them on things that they would have never known any other way. And I applaud you for that. I really and truly applaud you for that, because it's needed. It is very much so needed. So we talk about, you know, pure romance and then the diagnosis. Now, you recently had an amazing event, which I got to kind of, you know, be a part of it through Facebook, which really excited me. But please tell everyone about, I don't want to mess it up, Turn the Towns Teal. Please tell us about that.
Okay, so there is a private Christian ovarian cancer group on Facebook that that kind of spearheaded off of a larger group, but this one's just Christian women. And I go back to that group for lots of support and encouragement. And I went there months ago thinking, I'm at a point in my recovery, working through the cancer and everything, and now I want to tell others. Okay, so I visited my online Christian support group, and I asked them, you know, what can I do? I want to do something more than what I'm doing, but I don't know, you know, where to get started. So there were a lot of organization names that were thrown out there for resources, but the one that really caught my eye was Turn the Towns Teal. And that is where you get permission from your town to promote the ovarian cancer awareness for the month of September. And it is all across the United States. In every state, there is a town represented, and it's also in Puerto Rico. So I don't recall seeing any mentions of any towns in Georgia when I was looking through all their photos and everything, but I knew, hey, I want to jump in on this. I thought it was real easy. The website, is kind of step by step how to make it happen. And that's what I did was I started there and got the information. I had a meeting with our mayor, and from that meeting, there was other meetings, and then it turned into a proclamation was given for Milledgeville. And the Turn the Towns Teal. So the proclamation sets in effect that from now on, September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness for Milledgeville, Georgia. So when you see the teal, that is what that's about. It's ovarian cancer. Proclamation just, puts it out there for churches and businesses and different organizations, private citizens to support the ovarian cancer awareness.
Awesome. What does TEAL stand for? Because I know it stands for something.
So there are acronyms that are used, and one of the acronyms for TEAL is Tell Every Amazing Lady About Ovarian Cancer.
That is awesome. I know that's going to stick in my mind always. Yeah. So you've now you've done it in your town where it is a proclamation that has gone out so others in your town know. Obviously, you had it posted on Facebook as well, so we know about it too. But what is your next goal?
Well, I want to make it even bigger in our town. So baby steps. Right now I'm working with a current ovarian cancer battler, I guess you can call her, patient. I don't like the word patient. She's battling and she is winning. But she's stage 4, and there is a benefit fundraiser event coming up this coming Saturday that I'm participating in her honor and to support her in her fight. But I want to make it, bigger. I want to do, a walk or a run. The state of Georgia organization has a teal trot that I've participated in. So on a local level, not everybody can go to Atlanta and participate in this, but on a local level, I want to do something. You see pink everywhere, and when October rolls around, we've been so conditioned that pink is breast cancer. And so whatever created that conditioning, I want a part of that for teal and ovarian cancer. Ovarian cancer is the #1 gynecological cancer killer. In other words, more women are dying because of ovarian cancer than the other gynecological cancers, cervical, endometrial, all the other gynecological cancers for women. Ovarian cancer is the deadliest. And it's because of the late diagnosis. So it leaves you with less chances of your prognosis for it.
Now, you recently did a news interview about this, and you said something so profound in that interview, how breast cancer is so more well known, and it's more than likely because it's something that can be seen. Breasts are something on the outside and they can be seen, whereas the ovaries are not.
That's right. People think about breast cancer because breasts are visible and ovaries are not.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we've talked about so much. If someone wanted to get involved, what would your advice to them be for their next step, their first thing to do to get involved?
Well, if someone told me they wanted to get involved, I would like to ask them, what level of involvement do you want? Because if you want to blow it up in your town, I can tell you how to turn your town teal. If you want to partner with me and spread the awareness, I'll give you all the information that I have, and you can post and comment and like and share. And if you want to pass out symptom cards, I have symptom cards from, this is just one type of card that comes from Turn the Towns Teal, but there are lots of organizations that have the ovarian cancer symptom cards that are free, that will be mailed, that all you have to do is request them and they're mailed to you. You have to go and print them out and ask businesses and doctor's offices. But depending on your level of involvement that you want to get in, that's what I would share. If you want to just support what I'm doing, then I'll give you my PayPal link, and you can just send me some money, and I'll tell you where I'm.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Where can people find you? How can they get a hold of you? Give us all your info.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook at Pure Romance by Nikki H. And if you are a female 18 and over, I have a private Facebook group. I call them my VIPs. And I post even more detailed things along the lines of pure romance in that private group. But links to all that is all on my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook as well. I have email, pr.nikkihasty@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds great. Nikki, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom and sharing your experience with us. It is truly appreciated. And I know that this segment, your information and everything that you have gone through is definitely going to bless many. So thank you very much. And I look forward to talking with all of you viewers. Thank you for tuning in to CGE Q&A Wednesdays. We always appreciate when you are here. Stay tuned because we are going to have some information on how you can find out if you're having symptoms and also where you can get more information as well. So thank you again, and we look forward. Oh, don't forget, go to cleangoodeats.com. Always get your wonderful freebies there, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.